Mic check, max spit stats like a tactician. Link breaking plays down, surging with precision. Scoob got the jokes, punchlines hitting crisp. Whole squad on the mic, call it audible bliss. Gritter and gospel. We the chapel of the huddle, global reach, Titan speak. Breaking every bubble from the turf to the booth. Knowledge stay colossal. Podcast the playbook, no room for apostle. Titans global, we break it, we mold it. Talking pigskin, the truth get unfolded. Max Link School, we the squad, we the cold. Football mind sharp, taking you across the globe. Max drop gems, X's and O's like hieroglyphs. Link dissecting plays, no time for the myth. School, keep it raw, laugh till you cry. Huddle up, Titans talk, no flag, let it fly. Every league, every player, we dissect the grind. From the draft to the field, future stars in line. Whistles blow, helmets clash, stories untold. We bring the heat like cleats burning through the cold.
From kickoff to OT, every snap's a tale. Global Titans, we prevail, never stale.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, man. Good to be here, as always. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Lot to get into, but first, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Most importantly, get in the comment section. Want to know what you guys think. We're, 2 weeks away from official practice, so still a lot to talk about. There's football on the horizon. We're almost there, so make sure to tune in, subscribe to us for the latest content, and we'll get right into it.
Yeah, man. So tonight is just kind of a hodgepodge of crap I want to talk about that's gone on through the week. Nothing really super crazy, but some stuff I just thought was cool. So we'll start off. I love my transitions, by the way. I've been doing this for 3.5, almost 4 years now, and I guess I'm just never gonna get there, guys. I'm sorry, but that's not the kind of show I'm putting out anyway, man. I'm just trying to be the guy hanging out in your living room, talking about the Titans.
Yeah, it's just part of it. That's the shtick now.
Yeah. Anyway, Cam Ward and his receivers building chemistry in the offseason. As soon as minicamp stopped, they went to select QB athletics, and Tate and Robinson was with him catching balls, trying to build some chemistry. And then they went out to Miami, and that's where they were at today, along with Restrepo. Tate and Robinson were all three out there. There might have been some others I don't know about, but those three, I believe, were confirmed to be there. So, man, I can't really say enough about Cam Ward. I'll be honest with you, man. I have been more excited about Cam Ward than I have any other football player in a long time. Not just a quarterback, any football player, period. And the reason for that is it's not his amazing football talent, okay? I mean, he does have a lot of talent, and I'm not taking anything away from him on that. But there's obviously areas he can grow in and blah, blah, blah. But I have no doubt in my mind, absolutely no doubt, that he will get there. And the reason for this is just the drive, man. I mean, I haven't seen a drive or a will to work to get what you want more since like Kyle Vanden Bosch. And back to players that just are constantly in the building, constantly around people, trying to improve themselves on a daily basis. I mean, I rewatched Zero Stars here recently, or Zero Star, and that's probably where all this is coming from. But it just reinforced everything that I already felt about the kid, and he's still doing it again this season, not letting up at all. And it just makes me really happy, man. Makes me really happy. I hope he takes every offseason like this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has the attitude, right? That was the big thing coming in. We heard from, Miami coaches how he stepped on the field day one and just kind of took the job by the reins. And it seemed like he did a pretty decent job of that last year. And, you like to see the offseason work. Any reps he can get in, especially with the receivers he's going to be throwing to, is going to be valuable. The footage coming out looks good. I mean, the motions look good. The arm angles are good. The passes are crisp. Like, you see the things you want to see. you don't want this offseason to be super loud, right? Like you just want Cam Ward to do what he's done. That's be on the field, be working, do the little things right, stay out of the spotlight. Like he's done everything right for a quarterback coming into his second year in the NFL. So I'm with you, man. Like I hope he takes the jump. I see the excitement. I try to temper expectations because I've been here before. Like, let's remember Levis was also working with Hopkins in the offseason in what, Jamaica or Cuba? Where were they at? Somewhere like Costa Rica.
Boca Raton or something.
Yeah, somewhere.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I try to temper my expectations, but we'll see. Like, I think the coaching staff is right for Cam Ward. I think the attitude this offseason has been right. I think the steps this team has taken for the most part have been right. We'll just see if they can put it all together.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say about Cam Ward that I haven't already said. So I'm just kind of beating a dead horse, I guess. But like I said, man, it's just I've been watching football for a really long time. I've been, into football since I was a little kid. Watched a lot of players come and go, and not a whole lot of them I've seen be as serious as this kid. I mean, he literally eats, breathes football. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just a football player.
What was it he said to Shadur? Like he wants to be known as a football player. Like that's what he is.
Yeah,
That's what he wants to be known for. And the really cool thing about this offseason for Titans fans, like even more reason to get excited. Like we're gonna get a lot more insight into what he looks like at these practices with this upcoming season of the QB stuff, right? Like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be really interesting to see. I don't know how like detailed, like how in the face of these guys they are. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
yeah,
Like I'm excited to see what that looks like.
I am too. I'm interested to see how much they push Cam, and also, the people that are like, oh my God, Cam had a bad day at camp. Well, of course he had a bad day at camp. I mean, first of all, you're talking about an offense that I'm sure is a lot more intricate than the offense he was dealing with last year. Not to mention the fact that there's new language, and from what I understand, a lot of lengthy new language. But it's just a new system. You got two new receivers. I mean, there are going to be ups and downs, and that's just part of growing. I think, and I think that some people expect a little bit too much of a guy, in his second year. I don't know. I just feel like people were freaking out a little bit too much about that.
Well, I
But
think it's going to be very telling to see what he looks like when they come back, right? Like
yeah,
when the real practice starts, like when the pads come on, when the helmets come on, to see how he looks then. Like I think everything right now gets overblown because there's nothing else to talk about. You know
yep,
what I'm saying? Like it's just
yep.
everything is nitpicked, everything is analyzed because there's nothing else to do. So, I think in a couple weeks when everybody's back on the practice field and, everybody's got the pads and the helmets, we'll see then how Cam looks.
Yeah, I'm. Oh man, we'll talk about that a little later on. But yeah, there's a couple people I'm excited to watch for when the pads come on. But NFL.com, we'll just kind of transfer right out of that because why not? NFL.com gave us an an A+ for our off season, mostly citing the fact that we hired Robert Sala, and that was, according to them, our best move of the off season. And then signing Robinson, Taylor, Flott, and Schlottman, and then the draft picks that we made with Tate and Falk and Anthony Hill. Those were the ones that they mentioned. And they said we get an A+. And the only other team that was even close to us was the Giants. They were the only other one to receive an A. So I thought it was interesting, but even as the overexcited Uber, I don't know what you want to call me, man. I don't. I try not to be jaded, but I am a little bit, I guess. But even I didn't give him an A+. and I'm
Yeah,
pretty nice. So
yeah, that's a little generous in my
I
opinion.
think so. I
Yeah.
think so. Now, I mean, to say that we had the best off season, I don't think that's crazy. I don't know, man.
Even
Like we
I
were
mean,
talking before the show, the Giants had a great offseason, man. It's really hard to top what they did this offseason as far as turnaround and how quick I think their team might flip their record. But I don't know. I don't know. We
yeah,
did
I mean,
well. I'm not
I
gonna
think a
say
lot
we
of
did
teams
good.
like the Giants, the Jets, like I think all those teams did really well. I would go as far to give the Giants like a solid A. I mean, look, it's hard for me to give out A pluses to anybody, right? I think you can look at
Yeah,
some of the super teams that were built, like the Seahawks some years back, like maybe, but I just think like, and especially in the Titans case, that just feels very generous. Now you sprinkle in the
yeah,
coaching staff they put together and the combined experience in head coaching years you have there, like that definitely helps, right? Like that's a huge boost. Um, I think that if you look at the draft, they were definitely like top five, maybe even top three as
yeah,
far as who they got and value. But I don't know. Like I said, A plus feels generous. I lean more B plus, A minus, somewhere in there. But I mean, hey, I like it. I don't hate the exposure.
yeah. That's what I said. I was like, hey, that's sweet, thank you, but I just don't know if that's accurate. Um, so quarterback season 3 is coming out tomorrow.
Hmm.
If you've noticed, we don't have our cohort Scoob with us tonight, and that's because he is at a premiere. I'm sure. Look, they weren't supposed. We weren't supposed to talk about it on social media until they posted it, but whatever, man. I'm sure that they've posted it by now. It's going on right now with, and Cam Ward's supposed to be there. So cool event to be a part of, and really good reason to miss the pod, man. I get it. I would too. Um, but hearing this and talking about this in the off season made me go back and watch Zero Star again. And man, mm, if you're having like second thoughts about Cam, or you see some of those bad days at camp about Cam or whatever, just go back and watch just one episode. You don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just watch one episode. It's good enough. You'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool." Even if he's not here right now, he will be. He'll be soon enough. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's one thing about Cam Ward. He's very like eh, any documentary on him is going to be good. Whether it's quarterback season 3, whether it's zero, whether it's if there ever is like a hard knocks with the Titans, like Cam Ward is very good for television because it's a great story. It's an underdog story. It's a dude who came from very little and football kind of elevated him to where he is today, and he stayed humble through the process, which is very rare. So yeah, I mean, it's just a great story for TV, for fans, for audiences. Like it's good. So I'm really excited about it. I'll be honest, I really didn't watch a lot of the first two seasons, but I'll be tuned in for this one just to see. And this is what I was saying. Like I'm curious how like in depth this thing is. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't a big guy on the first two seasons, so like I don't know. I'm interested to see how much of the story we get throughout the season.
Yeah, same. I'm really curious to see how much they show, and what we learn. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah,
you don't get the whole story. You don't even get a percentage of the story that's actually going on the sidelines and in the locker room. But these kind of shows kind of give you a little bit more of an insight to things like that.
yeah,
And those are the things that I find very interesting. Like I'm really interested to see how Cam Ward deals with Brian Callahan throughout
yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
you know, cuz I
yep,
mean at some point it clicked in that young man's mind that this ain't the guy.
right,
Like this coach ain't the one. He's not going to get us there. He's not going to get me there.
yep.
And I'm interested to see how that unfolds and stuff. And obviously, he just gets better though, because throughout the season he just got better.
Yeah.
Second half of the season was way better than the first half.
I'm
So
really interested to see how he kept other players engaged, like
that too.
how he was communicating with the other members of the team in a season that was very obviously lost. In a season where you knew there were going to be questions at coach, you knew there were going to be questions in the front office. Like, I want to know kind of how he kept that unit together, because I think that's going to be a big storyline going into this season. Like, because can you pick up on the momentum that you left off on? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. His leadership skills, how he deals with other players, with egos and stuff
Mhm.
like that, because that matters. I mean, it really does. The greats do it well. Tom Brady, I hate to mention his name, but Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's
Uh,
an amazing
there.
quarterback that just demanded more out of his people. So I'd like to see some of that stuff from Cam Ward.
Yep.
All right, so now we're off in La La Land here already. Holy crap, that was fast. Who are you most excited to see in training camp? Is there like a position that you're most excited to see, or a
Yeah,
team?
I think defensive end. I want to see who really stands out. What's the? Is there an update with Femi? Do we know?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard today, but Paul Kuharski came out and said that the injury that he's been dealing with is a hamstring, but it should be he should be good to go by camp, which is great. And the coaching staff feels like he will pick up what he needs to, in camp or whatever. I think they're really just doing coach speak there, but I do think that it'll be a little bit easier for him to be a 4-3 defensive end than a 3-4
yeah,
outside linebacker, if that makes any sense.
yeah,
Take those dropping duties away from him, and I think he'll do a lot better as just not a pure pass rusher, but pretty much pure pass rusher.
yeah. Well, I mean, he just needs more tools, right? But I think I want to see who stands out at that position. You've got new guys coming in. You've got young guys. Like, it's just you've got. It seems like you have really good depth, but no standout star. So
Yep.
it's really who's going to take that starting job by the reins. And then same thing with interior linebacker. Like, I think that's going to be a battle. Like, you've got young dudes coming up. You got Barton, who's still here, who he's got some stuff to prove. You've got, I mean, don't forget about James Williams sitting in the background. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting with Cedric Gray in the season he's coming off of. So I think I have more questions about the defense, not because I'm concerned, but just because I have questions. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think even at secondary, like, I guess I have some concern at your depth on
Yep.
secondary, but again, it's just who can step up and be the guy. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the positions I'm watching the most, and then obviously receiver. Like, again, you got a bunch of dudes, but who's your wide receiver one? Is it obviously Ridley? Does Tate try to make it? We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I think that's mainly what I'm watching and excited for as we get closer.
For me, but I mean, it's kind of, I guess, is kind of a cop out answer, but bubble guys.
Yeah,
I want to see every last little position battle, blah blah blah. And I'll go through each position. Well, not every position, but just about every position in the bubble guys. But the position group I'm most excited to see is the offensive line. I want to see when they get pads on, how does, because I mean, I'm pretty much writing in Slater as the right guard at this point. I'm pretty much writing in Schlottman as the center at this point. So I want to see how those guys perform with not only the other guys that are surrounding them, but how they just perform as far as pass protection and run blocking. And you don't really get to see that stuff until the pads go on. Once the pads get on, that's a whole different story. And I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm looking for most in camp. Like, don't get all discouraged if you hear the defensive line is just manhandling the offensive line, because that's kind of what I expect to happen with JFM and Jeffrey Simmons. It's going to be, I mean, Jermaine Johnson is just like a cherry on top of the cake, if you ask me. It's sick. It's going to be problemsome. So I don't see, like, if the offensive line is struggling, I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not a good thing either. You know what I mean? But you
Yeah, I
see
think
him
with the
stand up, Jeffrey Simmons. That's a whole different story then.
Yeah, I just want to see consistency on the offensive line. Like I want to know who the starting five are basically heading into week 3 of training camp. Like I want that to be a lock. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I just think that needs to be figured out as early as possible and then build on that from there. I think that was a lot of the problem last year was it was just moving parts, moving pieces, and some of that was due to injury and some of that was due to performance. So it just they never got a good vibe together. But yeah, I think Skoronski up against Simmons, JFM, like that's going to be an interesting little battle through training camp. Definitely something fun to watch. But yeah, I agree, and I just I have faith in this offensive line. I just need it to be good enough, right? Like it just needs to mesh well with Cam Ward, give him the time he needs. If he does move the pocket, like they need to know where he's at. I just need it. Like if he's going to be on the same page with his receivers, he's got to be on the same page with his offensive lineman.
Absolutely. So let's just go over some bubble players, position by position, sort of. And if I don't say a name of a player you're rooting for, that means I don't even think they're on the bubble. They're not going to make the roster, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. We'll start with wide receiver. Obviously Ridley, Tate, Robinson, DK, AO, all those guys are fine. The bubble players are KJ Osborne, Hank Beatty, Xavier Restrepo, Ty Montgomery, and Bryce Oliver. Quite a few bubble guys there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of it's going to come down to special teams and versatility. So, I think Bryce Oliver or Hank Beatty or Xavier Restrepo, I think those three guys are the main three that are trying to get that 7th spot. Somebody might blow me away, KJ or Ty Montgomery. I really am ruling out Ty Montgomery, even though he is an amazing talent and a specimen at that. But the guy doesn't do special teams very well, from what I understand. I don't know that. I'm just going off what I'm told. But based on that, I would say that you're not getting in.
Is Restrepo a good enough wide receiver that he can make it on that talent and not be great on special teams?
I think so.
See,
I mean, we talked
like that's why I'm on the bubble with Restrepo. Like because I agree with you. I think it's going to come down to who's the better special teams player, and I think Restrepo has shown flashes. And if he continues to do so, I think he can earn a spot. But I don't know. Like at the end of the day, when you look at this team, is it worth having Restrepo there in the 7th, 6th spot when you could have a couple of guys who would be elite on special teams? You know what I mean? Like if it comes down to that, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I mean Bryce Oliver has been one of our best gunners on punt returns in the last 2 seasons, easily one of the best gunners. So, that definitely favors him heavily. KJ Osborne's another special team performer. Restrepo doesn't have that. Hank Beatty really doesn't have that. But what they have is they catch everything that's thrown at them. So I mean, it really comes down, I think, to how many players in positions do you have for special teams? You know what I mean? Can you afford to keep a guy like Restrepo on the team in the 7th spot without him playing special teams or being a huge contributor to special teams? Let me say it that way. But and that's going to be the question. Moving on though, but tight end, obviously Hellman, Dillinger are 1 and 2. Everybody else, I think, is a bubble guy. I think we'll keep 3 tight ends. I don't think we'll keep 4. Um, so that leaves DMR, Kylan Granson, and Jaron Kanak on the outside looking in. But from what I understand, Jaron Kanak had people's heads turned in minicamp. He really came on in minicamp. Not so much OTAs, but minicamp. He really came on and impressed some people with his receiving skills. So that'll be a really interesting one. I think out of the 3, DMR is probably my pick.
Yeah, I mean DMR is the most consistent. He's kind of the veteran, if you even want to call it that. But yeah, I think he's got the best shot there for sure. And I mean, again, you've kind of got the flip thing from I guess the last 2 years where you're stronger with your depth at wide receiver. So you feel like you can keep 7 of those guys and then only keep 3 tight ends. Whereas you felt like, I mean, what was it last year? They kept five tight
Yeah, it was
ends
pretty
on the initial
ridiculous. Yeah.
roster, like 5 or 6. It was crazy. So yeah, I think you're going to see a flip flop of that this year, where they're a lot more wide receiver heavy. And I mean, look, Gunnar Helm's your 3 down tight end. Like that's the goal, right?
Yeah. Please, God, say it is. I mean, I hope he performs as well to be the tight end number 1. I think he will. I mean, I think he was performing that well last year. So surely think he can do it this year. Defensive line, we already kind of talked about it. Jermaine Johnson, Simmons, JFM, Kildrick Falk. I think all those guys are safe. Um, Harrell, Jacob Martin, Solomon Thomas, Jackie Marshall, Oladagio. I think these are your bubble guys. Obviously, I think you give a nod to some of the younger guys if they can keep it close in competition. So I'd be kind of surprised if Jackie Marshall doesn't make it. But I mean, there's some decent guys in there like Solomon Thomas. I mean, he didn't perform as well as you wanted him to coming out of the draft, but I mean, he's still a pretty good defensive tackle. I mean, he's big, muscular, space eater. Uh, I don't know. That's an interesting battle to me. I think that's
Well, and a
probably one.
long way to go too. Like these dudes haven't even put on pads really yet. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like not even been in a super training environment just yet with everybody. So yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's you can look at it initially, but things happen, injuries
Yep.
happen, dudes hold out, like weird stuff happens. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the main thing is with your defensive line, your starters and your immediate depth, you feel pretty good about. You've got an initial set there that you feel really good about.
Yeah, I agree. I think the front 4, um, I'm pretty happy with. Or at least the front 3.
Yeah.
JFM, JJ, and Simmons. I feel like that's a solid 3 guys. And like you said, line's hard to tell without pads, man.
Yep.
Offensive or defensive, either way. Linebacker Barton Gray, Anthony Hill, I think are totally safe. But other than that, I'm putting them all on notice.
Williams?
I even James Williams.
Really?
The only, yeah, the thing that makes him like my top tier bubble guy, but also he's definitely a bubble guy. And the reason he's a bubble guy is because this is his last year of his contract. This is it. So you haven't been able to break into the starting lineup yet. If you don't make it this year, or you're at least not a rotational guy, I think it's obvious time to move on from James Williams. Although he is a fantastic special teams player, and what
Yeah.
we've just been talking about.
I mean, it's that, and you're also like one injury away from this dude just coming off. Like when he was in the battle with Cedric Gray, it was nothing that he ever did wrong. It was just Cedric Gray came out of nowhere and put on a Pro Bowl performance. Like it's like that's just what it was. So, I won't sit here and say he's a lock, but like I feel like he's going in fairly secure. You know what I'm saying? Because if either one of those dudes go down, I feel like he is linebacker 3 at that point.
I mean, I don't disagree with you that the talent is there and that he is able to do that. I just don't know. I guess it's interesting to see how the new staff views him
Yeah.
because
Well,
I
and it
feel like,
depends what he'll do, right? Like it depends on
yeah,
what the guy coming in does. Like he may come in and have the same type of camp as Cedric Gray did. Like we don't know, but I just think going into it raw as it stands today, like I think it's his job to lose.
yeah. Honorable mentions, diabetes, which what, Dorian Mousy. I mean, good special teams performer, but just not. I don't know. I think out of those guys, yeah, that is probably James Williams is probably going to make it as a fourth linebacker at least. But I think we probably keep 5 linebackers, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Defensive back. There's a lot of defensive backs. Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott, Kevin Winston, Marcus Harris, Amani Hooker, Kendall Brooks. Obviously, there's a lot of bubble players after that, but I'm not going to go into all that. I think those are mostly your starters, except for Kendall Brooks that I mentioned there at the end. I do include Marcus Harris in on it because I think he'll be a rotational defensive back. But he's like Alontae Taylor in the fact that he can play inside or out, and that's a special talent to be able to play the slot and the outside. Didn't say he did it great, but he can. Marcus Harris has played admirable for his draft position. I think he was drafted in the 5th round. So kudos to that guy for being able to start a few games last year, more than a few games, and hold sort of your own. I'm trying to make it as positive as I can for the guy because I feel for you, bro.
I just think secondary is, again, I go back to it. It's one of those you look at and just like who your starters are, but if somebody goes down, like you're concerned. And it was like that last year, but it was a little bit of a different vibe because L'Jarius Sneed was on this team. So you kind of feared that just from week 1, you might already be down a player. Like it would take something actually happening this year to put you in that position. So I don't know. Like, hopefully these dudes can stay healthy, and hopefully some of these depth guys can really come on when practice starts and training camp really starts, and kind of shine and look like real NFL talent. But we'll see. I think that's still one of, if not the biggest question on this team going into this season.
I mean, I'll not disagree with that. Big decision that I think they're going to have to make is at quarterback. I mean, obviously not at Cam. Cam's number 1. That's easy. I think even Trubisky is number 2, and it's not even close.
That's Trubisky looks good. I mean, again, we overanalyze everything.
I know.
Man, Trubisky was on it, bro.
It's weird to say that too.
Like a lot of people said Trubisky was the best quarterback out there.
Yep. I heard the same thing, man. Lots of people were praising the way that he was playing in Daboll's offense. So definitely number 2. After that, I mean, I don't know that we'll carry 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and if we do, it'll be one of those emergency third quarterbacks.
Well, you get an emergency way.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't count against them. But here's the question: who's the third quarterback? Are you keeping Levis or are you keeping Hooker? Yeah, and I think most of that comes down to financials, in my opinion. and I don't think that Levis's contract is guaranteed. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a minute, so I'd have to refresh myself on that. But I don't think it is. So I think it comes down to financial ability, and it'll be cheaper to keep Hooker as the third emergency quarterback than it will be for Levis. And besides, man, who wants that guy hanging around in your locker? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, it took them like 4 years, but they finally got it right by bringing Hooker on this team instead of Levis. This is what I was calling for this on draft night. It just took this long to happen. So, yeah, I expect that would be the plan. And look, you roll Levis out there the first preseason game, right? Like that's got to be the plan. Like let the dude show out if at all possible. Which I wonder. I don't know how they'll play that. I guess Ward comes out like maybe a couple series, and then I'm just throwing Levis in there to try to boost that value if at all possible. Um,
Still,
yeah, but we'll see. I don't know. Like I feel like he's gonna go for pretty cheap, but I could be wrong. Somebody else have
man,
to.
I don't even think he's got trade value anymore. I think most of the NFL's going. You know you're gonna cut him.
Yeah,
You know you're gonna cut him. Just cut him. We'll
yeah.
take him. We're not gonna trade for him though. I mean, I don't know. We might get like a sixth, seventh rounder.
I mean, hey, it just takes one injury, man. Like I'm telling you,
That's
imagine if
true.
something happens to Aaron Rodgers in 3 weeks. Like who they got? You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it takes. So I don't know. We'll see.
Mason Rudolph. Poor bastard. So last but not least, in my opinion, one of the most interesting running back, we Pollard, Spears, and Singleton are pretty much locks. All three, in my opinion, are pretty much locks. So that leaves Cal Mullings and Julius Chestnut outside looking at. There's one more running back on the team, but like I said, if I don't say your name, you're not going to make the roster. Sorry. Uh, so between Cal Mullings and Julius Chestnut, if we were going to keep four running backs, which I don't think we are, who would you keep?
Uh, I mean, I hate to say it, but I guess Chestnut, just because he's
Yes,
proven, right? Like I don't know.
yes.
Like if you've
I,
already if you don't think Mullins is good enough to make the starting roster, I don't know what makes you think he would be better than Chestnut when Chestnut's came in and done everything you've asked him to do the right way. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, just in that, I guess I'm keeping Chestnut.
Not only that, when we talk about these bubble guys, these guys that are trying to make this 53-man roster, one of the most important things you can have in your back pocket is special teams play. And we
Mhm.
already know that Julius Chestnut is a star on special teams. I mean, he's one of the best. So why would you give that up for just a big body?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I say. But he was also a draft pick by Berganzi. And, I don't know how stuck on picks he gets. This will be a good evaluation of that. This will be a good evaluation of how he views his draft picks a year later, and
Well, and
how how
it's also telling again, like you said, to see if it's his guy. But if we get to the point where we're talking about this as a real option, like we have much bigger problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, it really just comes
absolutely.
down. It really, in that sense, it just comes down to special teams, right? Like that's
Yep.
it. So I don't
And,
know.
well, I
That's
mean,
that's my
practice
thought
also I think goes into that.
for sure.
What gives you the best competition of what you're looking for. I guess he is the only back on the team that is considered a big back at 6'2" and 250 or 70 or whatever he is. Um, but yeah, I just don't. I mean, I feel like Singleton can run just as hard as he can based on his college tape and Callow's college tape. To be honest, Callow's college tape wasn't that great. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I mean, that's all I got for tonight. So we're probably gonna wrap it up here. Any last thoughts?
I think that's it, man. I mean, honestly, like I said, we're getting closer. We're down to a Final Four in soccer now, so that's happening, I guess. But yeah,
I,
I don't know.
I do have
We're
one more
doing
thing
some
I want to
football.
talk about. I do want to have one more, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Titans or football. The saddest excuse for a sporting event I have ever seen in my entire life was on display Saturday night. UFC.
Oh wow, yeah,
What the hell, man?
yeah, yeah. That was
Like
rough.
I'm a hu- I was I'm a very big
Yeah,
McGregor fan, and it's just
yeah.
the
Me
way
too.
he carries himself. I love fighting. Something a lot of people don't really know about me is I really, really, really love fighting. I like watching the skill of it. Everything there's it's just like football. There's so many things that are tiny and minute that make it amazing. But mm,
Yeah,
man, and I get what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're like trying to come out with a bang and all that, but damn, bro. You
yeah.
blew out your knee in the first
Body failed him,
round.
man. Body failed him. That just it happens. And I don't. And look, I don't think. I don't
Mm,
think McGregor was in the McGregor headspace going into this fight. Like if you look at the walkout, if you look at the warm ups, the not making eye contact, like kind of the dazed look. Like I don't think he was necessarily injured coming into this fight. I'm not. I don't buy into that just yet. But I do think that if you look at him to the lead up, it just wasn't him. And look, a lot of that is just he hadn't fought in 5 years, right? Like 5 years since he was in the cage. And the last time he was in the cage, it was a
got his ass whooped.
devastating injury. It was a
Yeah.
devastating injury. So, I mean, on top of, the crowd and being back in the octagon and coming off the injury, and then the bell rings and his mind just goes to, look, I'm just going to come out and do this thing. And yeah, body failed him. And look, it happens, man. Like the body does weird stuff as you get older. And I don't care how much you train, I don't care how much you spar, nothing prepares you for an actual fight. So yeah, I don't know. It sucks. And I'm a McGregor fan. Like I really am. I love the dude. I think the attitude, I think the talent, the style, I think it's just he was next level, and he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, to ever do it. And if he's not the greatest fighter, he's certainly the greatest entertainer in any sport.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, look, I hope he comes back out on top, even if that doesn't mean it's in MMA or the UFC. I hope he finds what he loves, and I hope he finds peace. But yeah, it's a tough spot, man. I feel for the guy. I do.
As an older athlete, man, I'm having a hard time with all these guys trying to come out, as an older guy. We had Tyson come out and just looked awful against Jake Paul. And how do you do that?
Yeah,
And then we had McGregor come out and didn't even get to throw a punch or anything, man. I mean, he didn't even get hit, and the
yeah,
fight was over.
yeah. It's tough, man. I don't know.
God, man. Anyway, by the way, have you seen the movie? What is that? Damn it! It was a remake of an old '80s movie. Original one had Patrick Swayze in it. It's basically just him kicking the shit out of people in a bar.
Karate. Oh, Roadhouse. The Conor
Roadhouse.
McGregor, the one he starred in. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Have you seen
yeah,
Roadhouse, the newer
yeah,
one?
yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yes. Was
Yeah, he's a good dude,
badass.
man. I'm telling you, dude's talented. Like, dude's
I
talented.
think I think that's where his focus should go. To be
I
that.
think now he wants to be a politician. That was the latest.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah. Yeah. Irish.
Man.
In Ireland, it'd be an Irish politician. But
I mean, I
hey,
like Connor, but I don't think politics is.
we'll see, man. We'll see.
We will see.
Crazier things have happened. I'll just, I'm just saying.
I will. Yeah, I do a lot of fantasy stuff, but yeah, no, redraft team review. That's a little deep for my fantasy talk, man. But yeah, I think that's it. If you've stuck with us this long, I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Because we just do it for y'all. We don't really care. I'm not trying to do anything or be anybody. Just like I said, a guy in your living room hanging out talking about the Titans. That is the atmosphere of the show.
Yep.
We want to thank you. Anything else there, buddy?
That's it, man. Till next time.
That's it. Tighten up.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.